Over 2 weeks in January, the band Walking on Cars participated in workshops around Kerry. The 3 workshops took place in Killarney, Tralee and Walking on Cars' native Dingle. The bands involved were Mad Alice, Jousting with Chairs and Walter & Co. The aim of the project was to support young and emerging bands to develop their careers in music. This was to happen by having access to a band whose career path is on the up.
How did you get involved with the Youth Band Mentorship initiative and what is your role?
I got involved through my work with Kerry Music Education Partnership, where I coordinate some of the initiatives that they run for children and young people. And initially I was approached by Kate Kennelly, the Arts Officer of Kerry County Council, who had funding in place for a youth band initiative, which would basically involve a more experienced band working, giving ideas and mentorship and their time to young bands. So Kate put forward the funding from the Arts Council, and we went from there trying to locate a band in the county.
Okay. What is the importance of schemes such as this, and what benefit do they hold for youth bands in Kerry and nationwide?
Well, I think it's very important. A lot of the research has shown that young people benefit from having mentorships from more experienced musicians. So the fact that Walking on Cars have achieved so much and that young people look up to them is very, very important for then encouraging those young people coming through in their own bands as well.
Yeah. Does the success of local bands such as Walking Cars encourage younger bands in Kerry to persevere with their music?
Yeah, I think the fact that Walking on Cars have done so well nationally, they played recently I think in front of something like 25,000 in Dublin for New Year's Eve, means that young bands can then aspire to achieving something similar. It's very difficult to encourage young people to feel that they can achieve that if they don't have somebody else who has achieved it ahead of them. So it is very important that they would have achieved some success in working with the young bands.
Were Walking on Cars quick to come on board with the initiative despite their hectic schedule?
Very much so. I was in touch with their manager, Trina Dignan, and from the outset she said they were extremely interested in working and that sort of mentoring level with young bands. It wasn't something they had done before, so they did an excellent job working with young bands for the first time as mentors.
Brilliant. And do you think that the series of workshops could become an annual event or even something more frequent?
I would hope so. It has certainly run in the past with another band locally called Avatar, and I would like to think it would run, if not annually, then certainly maybe every 2 years as some initiative that we could have as part of our overall Kerry Music Education Partnership project.
That's Maru, I'm Sean, that's Patrick, and that's Matt. And Maru plays guitar and I play guitar and sing, and Patrick plays bass and Matt plays drums. We're from Tralee, and our genre would be, it's a mix of everything, like, because we all have different influences, like, and
more or less indie alternative kind of rock, you know.
Yeah.
What were you doing today in this workshop?
Having the crack with Walking on Cars, sure.
Yeah.
They were like helping us, like, they were like talking to us about how they started out and all that crack, and like they told us like how it's important to have Facebook pages and social media and all that crack. And then they went through a song we were working on the moment, like, and they gave us a few tips, like, and a few ideas for it as well, and the writing process and all that.
And do you think like you really benefited from this workshop?
Yeah, because like it's more of an opening, like, and we've more ideas now when it comes to songwriting ourselves, like.
It's good to get feedback on it.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think was the best kind of advice you got today?
Structure.
Yeah, and the build up and the structure, like, that was one main, like, helping point.
And for the guitars to have tuner pedals.
Yeah. These kind of workshops, do you think they need more of them? Or?
Yeah.
There should
definitely, yeah.
It's like what Tralee needs, what Kerry needs in general for music is like some bit of a kick again, because it's died down the last year or two.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, original music keeps fueling. You have to have original music to have covers.
It's more exciting as well, go up your own stuff.
Yeah, because like you can bring your own aspect into it and your own ideas that you mightn't have heard or ideas that you might have done before, and like it gives you like a whole other aspect to the whole thing as well.
My name is Georgina O'Halloran and I'm a youth worker with KDYS, and I'm currently supporting the band project in Killarney, which I suppose at the minute is solely run by volunteers, so mine is very much a support role.
How important do you think initiatives like this are for young musicians?
Okay, well, I suppose it's an opportunity that not every young person is ever going to get. I suppose music is just one of the mediums that we would use to engage young people across the county. And I suppose then we need to look at where their talents are and nurture those. So to be given an opportunity like this is huge, and I'm sure they've got all their fellow members are going to envy them next Tuesday night at the band project. But it's you know, I think it's brilliant, to be fair now, and I hope the lads will utilise it and appreciate it and make the most of what the mentorship that they're going to get today. I'm Routine. I'm Ed.
I'm Alex.
I'm Fergal.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Kieran. We're Matt Alice.
Tell us about your style of music and where you're from.
Man, you can tell us more about that. We're from Killarney and Mill Street, and our style of music is
Psychedelic rock with ska and reggae influences.
and prog rock. We just want to take all the elements from music people found weird and put it into one area.
Well, basically everyone in the band has a different taste in music, so it's kind of like a mesh of different styles.
We're all weird people, so I think we fit in pretty well.
The advice and guidance provided by Walking on Cars was a great opportunity for young bands receiving the mentoring to focus and learn about possibilities of real careers in the music industry.
We were hanging out with a really cool band from Bingo called Walking on Cars, and they basically helped us change the lyrics of a song that we were dicking around with and add a bit of riffage over it, harmony, melody, whatever you call it.
Pretty much get our first proper song.
Yeah, they helped us a lot today to develop.
Yeah. I mean, not even just musically, advice with songwriting and things like that.
Dealing with each other.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good to hear from experience because I mean you can mess around all day, but it's experience that gets you where you're going.
What was the best advice you think you got as a band in general?
Probably to do with communication, because we were saying we'd be jamming away, but we wouldn't really join together when trying to come up with stuff. They were saying about working together when one of you comes up with something, and just in general really as a band kind of work together more, and I thought that was very good. Yeah, I think
My favourite bit of advice was not to be too harsh on what you create.
yeah.
That was my favourite anyway. Yeah, I think in the future we'll be writing as a group a lot more often. It taught us to work together. And
I think also the song we made today was
The song we made today was great.
It'll be a
It
good
was.
gigging tune, and at least making one song is an accomplishment.
The singer taught me a lot about melody today too. Lessons I'm going to remember for a long time.
Hey, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Patrick.
I'm Paul.
I'm Dan. I'm Evan.
We're Walking on Cars.
Alright, so I suppose we'll just start with your experience growing up with music. Did you have anything like these workshops?
No, nothing. I didn't know these workshops even existed. I'm kind of disappointed there isn't one in Dingle because there's loads of young people playing music, and I don't think there's anywhere like this for them to play. So, geez, it's great. I'm really happy that this is there for young people who want to play and be in a band.
I wish we had it when we were
Yeah,
that age.
definitely.
We just had to sit in a smelly shed.
Do you think these kind of workshops, if they were introduced as kind of a formality in there every week, do you think young musicians would benefit from this?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Even just today, the two bands that we worked with, I think I hope they learned a bit anyway.
Yeah.
They seemed like at the start, they were just kind of playing anything, not really in conjunction with each other. And towards the end, they were more of a team working on it together.
Yeah.
And yeah, different bands will need different things, but at the end of the day, I think it's definitely helped. If we had someone like that on, we'd be way less deaf anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Just seeing someone say it, just turn down a bit there. It really helps.
Just as a child, who influenced you to kind of pick up instruments or get together as a band? Was it parents, your schools, friends?
Dan and Paul.
Yeah, we kind of
Paul,
just
me,
did it. Myself and Dan we had the same guitar teacher.
Yeah.
So we were in each other's kitchens like twice a week learning the guitar or whatever. So then we just started playing with each other that way. We got Evan playing the drums. It was all good. That's how it kind of worked from there. We just stayed at it. We used to like every evening go. We had a shed, like a little tiny, like I'd say it was probably 10 foot by 8 foot shed. It was tiny, like, and we used to just make loads of noise in there every night. Any minute we had spare, we were up there. Yeah. Somewhere to go, like, you know, the shed, like.
Yeah, it would have been cool if you had something like this where you could actually.
Yeah, or it was warm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I suppose we were there as well, even though I was never in a band until I joined this band. But even at the start, you're a bit lost, I think, you know, especially when everyone is trying to, like, you're all working together and you're not really sure how to work together. To know, it's good to have somebody to guide you to be the best that you can be. Like, I think it just took us longer because we had to figure it out as we went along. Like, actually, the band we had this morning in Tralee and then the band we had today in Killarney, they were so different. It was weird, so we had to approach them differently, because obviously the one we did this morning was the first one, and so we were kind of going in blind anyway, and then we expected kind of this afternoons to be the same, but then we got here and the band were a completely different band, so everyone needs a different approach depending on how they work together, I think.
We are Walter and Co. and you're Gabby.
Yeah, I'm Gabby and I play electric guitar and bass.
I'm Serga and I sing and I play guitar in some songs.
I'm Oisin, I play the drums, percussion, do a bit of singing, bit of ukulele. Beatboxing as well, and I write some of the songs.
I think they just helped with the dynamic of a band, because they kind of showed us their dynamics and how they work, and they just kind of passed that on to us.
Yeah, the thing they were saying about like moving into a house together and practicing non-stop for 2 weeks before the Paramore gig they had, I think it was.
Yeah.
Like, it was really cool the way, because they were giving us tips on whatever song we were working on.
Yeah.
What song were we working on?
Neglection,
yeah.
We had just written that the night before and everything, and to get like that feedback, we got like positive feedback from them, and to get that was like, I think that
was really cool.
I think if we didn't have that, we probably wouldn't be as ambitious as we are now as a band.
Yeah.
Because
before that we were kind of laid back.
We were just like, oh, it doesn't really matter.
Sure, everything will fall into our lap. But then after kind of seeing them and how much work they've put into the band, it's just like, Jesus Christ, we have to really work for this. Like.
Yeah.
Hey, my name's Sky Kyo and I'm a volunteer youth worker, and I'm involved with the band project and the Drop-In Cafe here in Killarney, the KDYS. More so I'm involved in the band project, and this is how I know the band who was getting mentored today, Matt Adams.
Have you been involved with a band project like this before?
In a mentoring kind of scene, no, and I'm glad I was involved in this now, because it's great for not only for the KDYS, but more so it's great for the young band as well, because it's great for them to hear from, say, their peers. I wouldn't say idols as of yet, because they're into different types of music, but it's just good for them to hear from a band who is getting known at the moment, who's doing very well in the industry, and it's nice to let them know what's it like to record, give them help for writing lyrics, and for music as well. And at the end of near the end of the mentoring, then they helped them put a song together, which is really good. Like, and it was great to see that.
Yeah.
There's lots of kids, you know, who have different problems and stuff like that, and a lot of them turn to music because it's their output, you know, and some of them learn how to songwrite themselves and write lyrics, but they just need that extra help at times. So it's great to get a band in, or a musician, singer-songwriter in, just to give them that push.
it was the name of the song that the word always stays with me is persevere. Just persevere in what you love. That's it.
Arms by my side, heart on my sleeve. The chandelier falls as I stand underneath. Won't you give it up this time? Won't you give it up to save? Watch this come